Hi YouTube, it's Tracy from Queen of the Board, and today I'm playing Skytear Campaigns. This is the newest standalone expansion from Skytear Games. It's a 1 to 2 player card lane monster battler. About 30 minutes a game, and this comes with multiple different decks you can play with as one-offs, or there is indeed a campaign in there to work your way up to. To begin with, I'm going to be playing the introductory game with the blue good guys and up against the Atlas outsider. Come and join me. Now I am playing with some of the upgraded components from the Game Found delivery. So I have the playmat and some upgraded tokens. I'm pretty much all set up. I've got my minions at the back who will be pillaging me. I have my Pools of Flema castle right here with its 20 health that I need to protect. Here is my alliance deck. We've got the portal here, stage 1, all set up, as well as the Horde deck ready to come and try and destroy me, to destroy my castle. I win if I manage to defeat the outsider, but the outsider is not even on the board yet. I have to get through at least the first stage of the portal to bring him out. And losing if my castle is defeated, 20 health, or if I run out of cards in my deck, because these minions are going to be pillaging away at this deck, and we certainly don't want to run out of cards. The game comes with a little how-to showing the 6 different phases. Here's the front and here is the back. So the first phase is the Horde phase. I gain mana. According to the portal card, I'm gaining 4 mana. I then summon cards from the Horde deck. It's telling me to summon 1 card. And we find a Burster. That is a monster. And the monster will deal 1 damage to each ally within 1 lane as its fight ability. Next, we reinforce the minions. Reinforce is 2 right now, so adding 2 tokens out the lowest. Then summon all cards in the outsider pile, none there. Rotating the portal. Rather than rotate, I'm going to use a token. So showing that for next time it will be a 2 and a 0. Now it's the alliance phase. I get to, at the start of the game, draw 5 cards from my deck, and then we can have a look. I find a Boreal Dryad, the Matron, the Retributor, a Devotee, and the Raptured. So I'm looking to get allies and low-cost cards at the start of the game. By the way, this isn't a rules teach. I'm learning. Please let me know in the comments if I make mistakes. I'm tempted to give up with my mulligan, the Retributor, because it is a cost of 6, but it's such a good card. Maybe I can manage it. I think we'll stick with what we have. Now, the Burster has a fight of 3 and a health of 2, so I'm looking for something that could handle that I could afford. And I think the Devotee might be my best bet. So I'm going to play that. It's going to cost me 4, putting me down to 0. I could now choose to use exhaust abilities. That would allow me to move allies around, swapping locations, or to engage one of the minions that are currently not on the board. I could also spend a mana to exhaust my castle and draw an additional card. As with this game, it's quite tricky to draw cards. You want to keep your hand full of options. The main way to do that, though, is if I defeat a monster, I'll get to draw a card. Over to the treachery phase. Let's see what we get. The Chaser, you can see the lightning symbol, so it has a special ability. Treachery, the castle gains -2 health. So I'm down to 18. Next is the fight phase. So the Burster is going to deal 1 damage to each ally within 1 lane as its fight ability. And bless 1 an ally. So it's going to gain or lose 1. So I think we'll just cancel that out. Hope that's right. It doesn't say it has to be an other ally, so maybe I feel like it could do it for itself. Next, we'll do the attack. So this one's coming in for 3 damage on the devotee. And the devotee does 3 damage, killing the burster. And I get to draw a card. We find a matron. Now, the matrons actually don't do any damage. They have 3 health, but they will bless surrounded allies if I pay mana. So they're not too bad, strengthening the allies. Unfortunately, now we go to the pillage phase, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 to pillage. That comes out of my deck of 40 cards. End of the phase, removing any temporary tokens, making sure everyone is refreshed, discarding down to 7, and then we start another turn. So again, gaining my 4 mana per the portal. Summoning this time 2 cards from the Horde deck. I find Harpooners. This is a spell which reinforces 3. So we go 1, 2, 3. I exhaust the leftmost ally. No reinforcement from the portal this time though. And my second draw, I find a pinner. This is a monster with a damage of 1 and a health of 2. He'll do 2 damage to the engaged ally as his fight ability though. I'm going to spend 1 mana and put out my matron. Then exhaust and pay 1 mana to bless 2 a surrounded ally. Bringing this down to 1. Next, we check the treachery. I find a single dagger on the right-hand side of the card. So the pinner is going to get a +1 temporary attack. And now we go to the fight phase. So first of all, the pinner deals 2 damage to the engaged ally, turning this into a 3. But fight bless 1 an ally. So blessing 1 ally, I'm going to turn this into a 2. Next, they strike one another. So the pinner does 1 more damage to the devotee, taking it back to a 3. And the devotee does 3, killing the pinner. Whew! And we get to draw a card. I find a Strida, heroic ally. Next, we move to the matron, but she doesn't have any attack abilities. Then we go to the pillage phase. Oh boy, 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, not good. This could be how I lose the game. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh boy. End of the phase, removing temporary tokens, refreshing, nothing in the outsider pile. Back to the Horde phase, gaining 4 more mana, so we're up to 6. This time we will be summoning 0 and 0, thank goodness, so we can sort ourselves out. And I'm going to spend all 6 of my mana in the Alliance phase to get the Retributor onto the board. He has an attack of 3 and a health of 4, but after striking a monster, he gets to mutaform a number equal to his attack. So that's either health or attack modifiers I can add of 3. Let's take a peek next at the treachery phase. So it is 1 attack for the rightmost. And we don't have anyone out, so that didn't hurt us. I can still use my exhaust abilities. So now I think it's time to deal with these minions. Let's bring out the Zephyrite minions, exhausting the Retributor. I'm going to exhaust the Matron to bring out the Ratamil minions. And exhaust the Devotee to bring out the Onkai minions. It's the fight phase. We don't have any attack abilities up here, but I do have a fight ability to bless 1 an ally. I'm going to bless the matron and give her a temporary 1 attack. Next, these two are going to attack. So he attacks for 3, taking out the Onkai minions, but he's going to attack me for 2 and finish me off as well. I do get to draw a card, and I find the Sea Altar. Next, the Ratamil minions are going to attack the matron for 1. And the matron's going to attack for 1, finishing off the Ratamil minions. I get to draw another card. I find a Truth Preacher. Over to the Retributor. So the Zephyrite minions are going to do 2 damage. And the Retributor does 3, killing off the Zephyrite minions. And again, I get to draw another card, finding the Mace of Devotion and Attachment. I'm now at my 7 limit. Next is the Pillage phase, this time not quite so painful, just 2. Removing temporary tokens and readying my cards. Over to the Horde phase, back up to 4. I've done no damage to the portal yet. We are now going to summon 1 card from the Horde deck. We find a Looter. The Looter has a strength of 2 and health of 5. When fighting, place a random card from each player's hand beneath the Looter. Ooh, yikes. Reinforcing the minions this time for 1. Nothing in the outsider pile, rotating. I'm going to exhaust the Retributor and move him in front of the Looter. I'm going to spend 1 mana, exhausting the Matron to add 2 damage for the Retributor. Temporary, so I'll put it at front. Then I'm going to spend 1 mana to put the Mace of Devotion on the Retributor. And when played, the attached ally and its engaged monster may strike each other. So this one's going to strike me for 2. And I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, killing the Looter before its fight ability goes off. I get a card. I find a Devotee. I get to mutiform the Retributor for 3, so I think we'll go for 3 extra health. I've still got 2 to spend, and I'm going to spend 1 to put out Astrida, and then I'm going to exhaust her to bring out the Zephyrite minions. Let's have a look next to the Treachery phase. The Burster has a dagger on the left, the temporary boost. And next we start over here with the Retributor, but the Retributor is a defender, so nothing striking through is going to get to the portal, unfortunately. The Matron doesn't do any damage, so we come to Astrida. We got a little unlucky because Astrida will get killed off if this fight phase continues, because we've got 1, 2 damage and 2 here. So instead, she's going to gain 1 negative health to end the fight phase immediately there. So the Zephyrite minions are going to stay right where they are. Now, the monsters in the back line are going to pillage. So we do pillage of 2, 1, 2, and then they're going to return. So at least that saved us a card. Removing the temporary tokens and refreshing everyone. Still no damage at all on the portal. I'm gaining 4 mana again, summoning this time 1 card from the Horde deck. It is a Purser. It's coming in right here with an attack of 1 and a strength of 5. We reinforce for 2. I'm going to spend 3 to bring out the Boreal Dryad. I'm exhausting Astrida to bring out the Yetnar minions. Exhausting the Matron to bless the Retributor, adding a damage of 2. That cost me 1 mana. Next is the treachery phase, and we find 1 extra strength to the left. You can see there on the card. And fight. Fight ability, pillage 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to run out of time, so we need to speed up. We're going to do 3 damage for 5, killing the pursuer, and he's going to do 1 damage to me, bringing this down to a +2. Mutaforming for 3, and I'm going to take 3 permanent boosts on attack. So he is gone, and I gain a card. I find the Holy Fountain Tower. Nothing from the Matron. Astrida and the minion, she's going to do a damage of 2, and they're going to do 2 to her that kills her off. And I'm going to choose not to draw a card because I'm a little bit worried about the size of my deck. Next, the Boreal Dryad is doing 4 damage finally to the portal. We pillage for 3. Removing the temporary tokens and refreshing everyone. Then gaining 4 mana again. 2. We find another pinner. And we find a Sea Witch. If a player has 1 or more mana, they lose 1, and the Sea Witch gains 1 strength and attack. I'm going to spend my last 3 to put out the Truth Preacher here. We're going to exhaust to bring out the Zephyrite minions and exhaust to bring out the Ratamil minions. Next is the treachery phase, and we find a treachery ability. Pillage 2 cards. Oh boy, no, I'm gonna run out of cards. Ooh. Okay. Fight phase. Okay, so we have a fight ability. The pinner deals 3 damage to the engaged allies. So we'll turn that one over and pull this. The Retributor is doing 3, 4, 5, 6 damage and absolutely killing off the pinner. Again, I'm going to choose not to draw a card. I get to Mutaform 3, so we're going to turn this into 2 health. The Matron does no damage at all. Play, I don't have any mana, so the Sea Witch is going to kill the Matron off. Zephyrite minions, 3 against 1, so 1 damage over here to the Truth Preacher. And the Zephyrite minions are destroyed. The Boreal Dryad is also going to destroy, and 1 damage here on the Boreal. So we're pillaging for 1, staying alive. Removing any temporary tokens. I don't have any out. Everybody is readied. Discard down to 7, gaining the 4 mana. I'm going to exhaust the Retributor to move them across. Leave these guys where they are for now. And paying 4 to put out the Devotee. Checking for treachery. I find a +1 dagger on the right. It's going to go here. It's temporary. The Devotee does 3 damage to the portal, and that finally will destroy the first level of our portal. So we go straight to the second portion, solo stage 2. And now the outsider is going to appear in the outsider pile, the first level of this card. There are 3. It's going to come in over here, ready to join us later. My fight ability is to bless an ally, so I am going to put a temporary +1 dagger on Truth Preacher, and exhaust Truth Preacher so that another ally gains the same number of tokens. So we'll do an additional one right here for the Boreal Dryad. Next, it's the Sea Witch, and so let's take a look. We're going to be doing 2, 3, 4 damage here to the Retributor, so we'll just turn these two over, and 3, 4, 5, 6, so easily killing the Sea Witch. Over to the Truth Preacher, doing 4 damage. One away from getting through this portal. And finally, the Boreal Dryad is definitely going to do overkill and get us to stage 3 of the portal. So we whizzed through that. I get to rebuild for 4. So we'll take 4 cards from the deck and put them to the bottom. Next is the pillage phase. I'm pillaging 1 right here. Have a look at the stage 3 portal. There it is. It has a health of 10, but now I'm gaining 6 mana, removing the temporary tokens and refreshing everyone, gaining 6 mana. Now we see that I'm going to be summoning 1 card from the Horde deck. I find a Skull Waver. This is a spell, so reinforcing for 3. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. And the strongest monster with a fight ability would resolve it. All my castle takes 3 damage. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. It's the only choice. Now I summon all cards from the outsider pile, so the Atlas is going to come out. Play Reinforce 2. I'm in real trouble with these minions. And the stage 3 version of Atlas would gain 1 additional attack token for each monster in the front line, but there were none out, so that was lucky. I'm going to exhaust the Retributor to bring in the Ratamil minions, and exhaust the Truth Preacher to bring in the Zephyrite minions. I'll exhaust the Boreal Dryad to bring in the Yetnar minions. Treachery phase. 1 extra damage to the rightmost. So from left to right, we have a fight ability, Bless 1 ally. And this is gonna do 3 damage anyway and kill him. This one's gonna do 2, so I think we're gonna bless the Truth Preacher for 1. Then fight, so we're doing 3 damage versus 1. And we defeat the first Atlas epic monster, bringing the second version, which is here, into the outsider pile. Moving to the second row. The Ratamil minions is going to do 1 damage to the Retributor, bringing them to 3. But the Retributor is going to do 6 and absolutely destroy the Ratamil, and then they get to mutiform equal to their attack. So they actually, I'm not sure, would that be 6? Because they have the bonus. I'm just going to count it as 3 as it's the worst case and take this damage off. Next, the Truth Preacher is going to do 3 damage to the Zephyrites, but they're going to do 2 and kill my Truth Preacher. But at least they are dealt with. And the Yetnar minions are doing 2, and the Boreal Dryad is doing 4, so again, also killing each other. Again, I would have the option to draw more cards, but I think I'm going to play it safe. Monsters in the black line pillage, so we're going to pillage for 1. Removing any of the temporary tokens. And starting another turn. Gaining 6 mana, so we're actually all the way up to 10. Summoning this time 2 cards. We find a Chaser monster and a Harpooner's Spell. Reinforcing for 3, did not want to see that. and exhausting an ally. Gonna shuffle up this Horde deck. We'll exhaust the devotee. The minions are reinforced by an additional 1, thanks to the portal. Summon all cards in the outsider pile. So we get the stage 2 coming out for Atlas. Reinforce 2 when played. And the stage 3 gains +1 health for each monster in the front line. So that would be 2. And thinking about it, I think the first Atlas monster would have counted. So I am going to give them 1 blue token from before. I'm going to spend 4 and bring out my Raptured Shapeshifter and exhaust him to bring out the Zephyrite minions. I'm going to spend 1 to put out my Matron and exhaust her to bring out the Yetnar minions. I'm going to exhaust Astrida's Castle for its special ability, blessing 1 an ally. So I need to discard a card to do it. And gaining 1 temporary attack for the Matron. Let's check the treachery. +1 attack on the left. Let's go. Fight ability, bless 1 ally. So I'm going to add an additional attack to the Matron. And then it's 1 more damage here. And killing the Chaser. But the Chaser also deals 3 damage to the closest ally within 1 lane for its fight abilities. That is killed, but my devotee would be dead. Next, we're going to attack here for 6. So absolutely killing the Atlas 2nd stage monster. And stage 3 is in the outsider pile. I just need to kill that stage 3 to win. Can I survive that long? After Retributor strikes a monster, mutiform a number equal to Retributor's attack. So I think I'm going to grab 3 health. Next is the Raptured. So they're going to do 2 damage killing him. When destroyed, gain 2 mana. But he's going to do 5 damage killing them. And I think this time we will draw a card because I don't have any more allies out here. Ooh. We find a Boreal Dryad. Over to the Yetnar minions. So they're going to do 2 attack to my Matron and she's going to do 2 attack to them. So that clears them out. Okay. Pillage for 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Removing the temporary tokens and refreshing everyone. Gaining mana back up to maximum. And this time we're going to do 1. It's the Cloud Compass, which is an attachment. Ooh, Onikai minions gain 3. So they're going to come in here like so. And with the Onikai minions, if they have 4 or more attack, they will have trample, which means it will go past whoever's in front of them if they defeat and hit my tower. My tower hasn't really been touched though. It's doing pretty good. And reinforcing for 1. It's the last thing we need. Summoning all cards from the outsider pile. So in comes Atlas. Atlas may gain while out of play. It has trample and it has barrier. Barrier is nasty. If a card with barrier and no damage would gain any amount of damage, put a single damage on that card instead. Armor must be used before barrier. So I'm gonna have to hit it at least twice. Well, I think we're gonna exhaust my Retributor and bring him over here. Then let's play the Boreal Dryad for 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to exhaust to bring in the Onikai minions. And we'll exhaust the Matron for the Zephyrite minions. I have a plan. I have 3 cards left in my Alliance deck. Let's see if this works. Let's take a look at the pinner. So the special ability, the portal gains 2. Okay, the portal gains 2 shields. That's not too bad. So Atlas is going to do 4 damage to my Retributor. And he would do 6 damage to Atlas. However, because of the barrier effect, they're just going to lose 1 health. Next, the Boreal Dryad will hit for 4, but the Unkind minions will take out my Dryad. And the Matron is going to do no damage at all. And the Zephyrite minions will take her out. But there's a reason I did that. Because next it's the pillage phase and this one will not go off. We'll just have 2 from here. 1, 2. So we have 1 card left right here. The Horde phase, I think this is going to be the last turn. Let's see how we go. We go back up to full mana. I did forget to mutaform my Retributor, so that goes back up to 2. We're going to be summoning 2. We get a Sea Witch and a Chaser monster. No reinforcement. We move to the Treachery phase, and far right gets a bonus of 1. And then we fight. So let's see, we're gonna have 4 damage on the Retributor. So these flip back over. He does 6 damage. Now I think that because this is not the first fight and he's already done 1 damage, that gets past the barrier. I think this is right, because I know there's a token on here. But because of that, I think that they will defeat the Outsider. I think that's it. And then we stop there at game over and I win. I don't know, yes. If I'm reading the rules correctly. The Retributor takes out the Outsider and we are successful with just 1 card left in the Alliance deck. And this was just 1 deck of Horde, 1 deck of Alliance, and 1 Outsider. There are many, many more in this box that I'm really excited for. I have the Fae Folk or the Fairy Folk expansion that looks super cool as well. Can't wait to do more. But again, I'm sure I've made a bunch of mistakes. I did enjoy it though, so I think that's the main thing. Please like and subscribe, all that stuff. Bye.